Hi guys, so it looks like Suella Braverman wants to punish students as part of her incompetence when it comes to dealing with the asylum issue. A university in Huddersfield was due to welcome students into its 405-bed block of flats, but 160 of them have been told that they will need to find alternative accommodation in the city. The reason? The Home Office is planning to place asylum seekers in some of those flats. The students have been told that they will be refunded and assisted in finding a new place to stay. When GB News covered the story, who do you think they were angry with? Suella Braverman? Of course not. Have a listen.
The Home Office is reportedly looking to move asylum seekers into a 405-bed student block in Huddersfield. Features a cinema room, a gym. It usually costs £10,000 a year. I don't think there's any indication that there's Agent Orange or unexploded World War II bombs there, but give it time. It comes amid increasing pressure on student housing near university campuses. Shadow Immigration Minister Stephen Kinnock argues that students are paying the price for the government's reliance on emergency accommodation. Russell Quirk joins me now, political commentator and property expert. Thank you very much, Russell. This does seem, a little bit bonkers, doesn't it? That fee-paying students who've already signed tenancy agreements will be booted out to make way for channel migrants.
A little bit. I think that's rather an understatement, Patrick. And I think that I share your outrage, and I'm sure you share my view that this is, I was going to say the beginning of a slippery slope, but it kind of feels to me that we're about 3/4 of the way down that slippery slope, which leads to a completely and utterly broken Britain. The fact now that we have 168 students that have all signed agreements to live in reasonable accommodations so they can start studying next week, and the Home Office have seen fit to effectively commandeer that block of luxury apartments with a cinema room and with a gym, as you say, I think is absolutely astonishing. It's like something out of an Armando Iannucci political sitcom. It's like the thick of it. You can just imagine some hapless, idiotic minister for some ridiculously named department thinking what a good idea this is. As if students, and sorry I'm ranting here, Patrick, apologise, but I'm so sick of where we are as a country, particularly over the fact that, as we know, a large chunk of asylum seekers are not coming from war-torn countries. They're coming as economic migrants from places like Albania and India.
Okay, once again, blame the asylum seekers. It's not the government's fault. It's the asylum seekers' fault because they're coming from countries that are safe. Okay, but he sort of pointed to the real problem here by when he said a hackless minister in some ridiculously named department. Well, the hackless minister is Suella Braverman, and the ridiculously named department is the Home Office. This is clear. It's them that's making the decision. And why is there always this defence of Suella Braverman? No mentioning of her at all. They'll blame the asylum seekers, of course, first of all. Then they'll blame civil servants. They'll blame lefty lawyers. They'll blame the judges. They'll blame the European Union or the European Court of Human Rights. They'll mix those two up. And they'll blame everyone but Suella Braverman. Instead, they'll say that she should be the next Prime Minister. She's ultimately responsible here. Now, her deputy came out recently and said, well, we don't want to bring down the backlog because that would create a pull factor. But because the backlog is so high, it means that there isn't accommodation for these asylum seekers. Remember, these asylum seekers can't go out and look for a flat themselves. They don't have that permission. These asylum seekers are not allowed to work. They have to rely on the state. They have to rely on whatever they receive from the Home Office. So you're putting people in a position where they have no control over anything, and you're blaming them. But this seems to be part and parcel of what Suella Braverman wants to achieve. Now, why have they been put in this student block? Because it's not like there's empty accommodation here. It seems that they were students who had already paid up for their accommodation for the new year, and they were told, actually, we're going to give you your money back and you have to go away. Yes, we'll help you find accommodation elsewhere in the city. I don't know if this is a political move to try and, annoy students who may be more supportive of asylum seekers, try and drive a wedge between students and asylum seekers. I don't know if that's the case, or if it's the case of, well, the government is paying a lot of money to put asylum seekers into these flats, and some accommodation managers realise that they can make more money this way. So I don't know if it's greed or if it's a political decision, or maybe it's a bit of both. But once again, GB News invite on people who are angry with the asylum seekers, people who have no agency here, they have no power. And it's also interesting when he said that we're on a slippery slope to a broken Britain. Although I'm inclined to believe that this guy votes Tory. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he'll be voting Labour to stop that slippery slope. Or maybe not. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.